Hi, my name is Gail from affluentpauper.com, and today we're going to talk about how to use a bread maker. You can make bread, good, healthy bread at home for around 60 cents a loaf. You can make organic bread for around $1.20 a loaf, which is a lot less than you're going to get even if you're using coupons in a grocery store. You can pick up a bread maker for as low as $40 at Walmart. You can pay $200 for a high-end one, or you can pick one up at a garage sale for $5, $10, $15. A lot of these bread makers don't come with a manual though, so I'm going to show you how to use your bread maker. So this is my bread maker. It's a Regal Kitchen Pro, and it was given to me by a friend. It didn't have a manual with it, so it sat on my kitchen floor for about a month before I figured out how to use it. But then I realized that all bread makers are pretty much made the same. Each one of them has a lid, a window, vents, has a control panel, and then inside you'll notice that there's a pan with a handle, and there's also a paddle. That is what mixes and kneads the bread. And then there'll be a control panel, and when you go online and you Google bread maker recipes, it'll tell you on there what setting to put your bread on, whether it's French bread, sweet bread, quick bread, if you're just making dough or whole wheat or whatnot. And so it'll have a panel on here. So let's get into making some bread. So today we're going to make cinnamon blueberry bread. My recipe here consists of 8 ingredients, which is a lot less than you're going to find in supermarket brands of bread. We've got a cup and a quarter of water, 2 tablespoons of margarine, you can also use butter. This is a quarter of a cup of sugar, 3 1/4 cups of bread flour, which you can find in any store. This is a teaspoon and a quarter of cinnamon, a teaspoon and a half of salt, 3 1/2 teaspoons of yeast, and I actually have some yeast here. This is the type of yeast that you can pick up in your store. And this is, and you can use 1/2 cup of blueberries. You could also use raisins, cranberries, cherries, and you can use as many as you like. I'm going to be using 1/2 cup today, but you can use 3/4 of a cup, whatever your taste buds feel like. So now let's go ahead and make the bread. I'm just going to open the bread maker. We're going to pour in our water. We're going to put in our margarine or our butter right on top of that. We're going to follow with our bread flour. And a lot of recipes don't even require bread flour. A lot of them just require simple, regular flour. Going to put in our sugar, cinnamon, salt. We're going to put in our yeast, and then we're going to put in our blueberries. So my particular recipe calls for a sweet setting, and it calls for a loaf of bread that is 1.5 pounds. So as you'll see here, number 5 says sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select on the monitor here, and I'm just going to scroll up until I get to the number 5. And then number 5, that's 2 pounds. Let's scroll down to 1.5 pounds, light setting. I'm going to hit start. It's going to tell me how long the bread is going to go for. Literally, I'm going to set it and I'm going to forget it. It's that easy. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to get some work done, watch the kids, and then I'm going to come back in 3.5 hours and my bread is going to be ready. So 3.5 hours have passed, it beeped, and it smells so good in here. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to open the lid, and you'll see the bread inside. You'll notice that there's a handle in here. Grab a pot holder so that you don't burn yourself. Lift the handle up, yank it out, and then there's your loaf of bread. So we're going to turn it over here. Yum. Okay. So if you come over here and take a look, you'll notice that there's an indentation at the bottom of the bread. That's going to happen with all bread makers pretty much, but you don't need to worry about it because once everybody eats it, it's going to taste so good, nobody will care. Once you cut it, nobody will see it either. So you can just basically turn it over and let it cool, and then you can cut it. And so once you've mastered the basic breads, you can go ahead and make bread rolls. You can add flaxseed to it, oatmeal, all kinds of things. So just go online, Google some recipes, and enjoy your bread making. Yummy bread, right?